Hi, and welcome to the Money Moves studio, where we aim to educate, inform, and entertain. Today, we are chatting about a highly debated topic, fees. We are chatting about fees. But before we dive in, Paul, what are we drinking?
Good morning, Ingrid. Reporting from the beautiful Cape Town this morning. What are we drinking? We're drinking coffee. No milk, no sugar, black as is, but hopefully the markets are green today.
So, Paul, fees. I know there's several fees. I've listened on radio about how people feel they've been messed around because of fees. But let's just quickly take a step back. What are the different types of fees that we get?
Sure, Ingrid, in investing, it's a highly debated topic, and also on Twitter, everyone's got an opinion. So, what are the fees? There are three types of fees. The first one is the fund management fee. This is the fund that you invest in on your platform. For example, Allen Gray Balanced Fund. That is the product, and you need to pay for Allen Gray Balanced Fund. Right. The second one is the platform fee. This is the platform that facilitates your investing. Either it's Allen Gray, it's Coronation, it's 91, it's Easy Equities. If it were a bank, it would have been the bank charges to facilitate your transactions. And the third one, Ingrid, if you have one, is your advisor, your financial advisor. So it's the fund that you invest in, the platform where you invest on, and the guy that helps you, your financial advisor.
We must remember that there's no such thing as a free lunch. We're using these services, so it's obvious that there are fees attached to it. Let's take these different fees apart. So, the fund management fees. Why do they differ? Because I've done my research and I see certain funds are expensive, certain funds are cheaper. Please tell me why these differ.
Yeah, so funds are actually vastly different in the cost. Some funds are very cheap, and some funds are very expensive. And the main differentiator here is whether it's an active managed fund or a passively managed fund. Well, what does that actually mean? So most people invest in passive funds because they want a low cost solution. I'm talking Signia, Satrix, OneVest, low cost. How it basically works is that this fund has a mandate, let's say SA Top 40, they're going to invest in South Africa's stock market top 40. But the point is there's not a massive team sitting there buying and selling, collaborating. What should we do? It's just the top 40. That's what we do. And because you don't have a team and excess of buying and selling, transacting all the time, the fee of the fund is very cheap. And then, of course, you have the actively managed funds. This includes Allen Gray, PSG, Coronation, Fairtree. These guys have big teams of portfolio managers, CA, CFAs, and they constantly buy and sell, and they try to beat the market, as we say. So, for example, let's say in the SA Top 40, Naspers, the weight of Naspers is more or less 5%. Then they'll say, you know what, we love Naspers. We're going to go 10% in Naspers as opposed to the average, which is 5%. Or we don't like Naspers at all. We think it's overvalued. So we're actually going to underweight it 2% maybe, or we just completely remove it. That's the active guys. And because they are, you need to pay their salaries essentially, and they're constantly buying and selling, the fee of this fund is way more expensive. So passive, you're looking at roughly 0.5%, give or take. Active, 1.5%, 2% maybe. So just to put this into an example, Ingrid, on the screen viewers, you'll see I chose one active fund, the PSG Balance Fund, and then one passive fund, the Satrix MSCI World. PSG, actively managed, 1.38%, and then the MSCI World, which is a passive fund, and that equates to an average of 0.92%.
So, listening to your explanation, the cheaper one isn't necessarily the better one.
In South Africa, like I said, everyone wants low-cost solutions, and companies like Satrix and Signia have actually made it their mantra. Like, we come in and we are the lowest cost solution. But low cost does not necessarily mean you outperform the higher cost solution. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And it also depends on the fund manager. Like, you get different types of active guys out there. Some active guys are really, really brilliant, and some of them are just not. So it's a high fee solution underperforming the market. That's like the worst case scenario. So what I always tell people is, actually, you know what? Ignore the fee. That sounds counterintuitive. How can I ignore the fee? I only look at performance net of fees. Let's say you compare Alan Gray's balance fund, with Signia's balance fund, on the fact sheet, the performance that they state there is after fees. So personally, I'm actually more weighted into active funds for my clients. We like active more, especially in South Africa, because the market is a little bit more inefficient here. There's more opportunity here if you have your finger on the pulse. But at the end of the day, once again, I want to emphasize this. It's not about the fee. If you have a fund generating 30% a year and you pay them 10%, they're still making 20% off the fees, which is more than the average fund out there. So in other words, invest in that fund.
Okay, so now that we know the fund management fee and how it does make a difference to the price, whether it's actively managed or passively managed, these funds, like the PSG Balance Fund and the Satrix MSCI World, those funds obviously live on a platform. This is where I cue the platform management fees. What exactly does that entail?
Yeah, so every fund has to live on a platform. And I think this is a common misconception. Just because you're on PSG doesn't mean you have to invest in PSG funds only. You can invest in any fund on any platform. So, for example, I invest on Alan Gray, the platform Alan Gray, but I use, let's say, the Satrix MSCI World Fund on the platform. So you get the new guys, like the Easy Equities, they charge like a Thrive fee, a monthly 25 Rand fee, but mostly transaction fees. Like every time you buy a new site, you have to pay. But the traditional guys, the Coronations 91, PSG, they ask a platform fee or an admin fee to basically facilitate your investments on the platform. And all transactions are free, but it happens on the platform and they take a monthly charge. How much does it cost? It depends on the platform, but they're all very similar. It's between like 0.1 and 0.5%. I invest my clients' money on Allen Gray, and they have a sliding scale, and most companies actually have a sliding scale. It starts with 0.5%, and then after the first million, it drops to 0.2%, and then after the first 3 million, it drops to 0.1%. So in my example on the screen, there's a client with I think 3 or 4 million Rand at Allen Gray, and he's paying 0.2% platform fee. Not a lot.
So this takes us now to our final fee to discuss, and that's the advisor fee. So I think most people are a bit hesitant as to speak about this because people aren't actually aware of their advisor fee.
There's quite a few different cost structures in the market. So some guys only have consultation fees, some have a fixed fee for the whole year, and then that's what you pay. It doesn't matter the value that they give. Um, some advisors take upfront fee, but most advisors, or for the bulk of them, charges an ongoing fee, just like the platform fee, just like the fund fee. It's a percentage of your investments. And it ranges typically between 0.5% and 1%.
The ongoing fee makes a lot of sense. It's whatever my asset is that you're investing for me. On a certain percentage of that is seen as your fee. But this upfront fee that you mentioned, is it almost like a deposit or how does it work?
Yeah, this is a much debated subject in the industry. Upfront fees, because people hate that. It's basically, let's say you have 100,000 Rand and I charge you 1% upfront. It means that before your investment goes to market, 1,000 Rand comes to me, and then 99,000 Rand is invested. That's an upfront fee. Personally, I don't take it, but I don't mind it, because what happens is you come to me, let's say you're a high net worth individual, or you're not even, you have money. Now I spend hours and hours working out a plan for you, and I use my expertise that I've built up and I prepare a proposal. I spend 5 to 10 hours. I give it to you and we implement it. That's a lot of my time. If I were a lawyer or a doctor, that would have cost you a lot of money. And I do it basically for free because I charge the ongoing fee. But to be fair, I mean, it shouldn't be frowned upon if I take a little bit of money for doing all of that, or a consultation fee or hour-to-hour basis or whatever. But most guys don't charge. I don't charge. I said to the client, listen, we're going to walk the walk together. So it's going to be an ongoing fee yearly, and I'm going to consult you. I'm going to be your partner here. I'm going to be your business partner in your investment journey for the next 30 years. So I'll do it for free upfront, given that we lock in this relationship.
My question is actually, should I get an advisor?
The classic DIY versus your financial advisor. So we made a video, Ingrid, you know that. So for the viewers, link up here. But it comes down to this always, is how much are you paying versus how much are you getting? Are you getting the value? Yes or no? Just like in any industry, there are people that's below average. The bulk of them will be average, and then you get the brilliant or very good or brilliant ones. And my recommendation would be get yourself a brilliant financial advisor that's going to add way more value to your life than it's going to cost you. And whilst you at it, get a brilliant tax guy as well. Because it's those two individuals are pivotal to building and protecting your wealth over time.
It feels like I've already achieved a lot knowing that I've got both those, an advisor and a tax practitioner, helping me to actually just live without stress, financial worry. Anyway, guys, my coffee is done. We will see you in the next episode. But if you do have any questions about what we've discussed, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Bye.